Hey, what's up? This is a video about chemtrails and what I believe to be stalker clouds, fake clouds, and intimidator airplanes, which is like low-flying airplanes that only seem to come around like when I'm filming chemtrails. It may sound crazy, but I don't give a shit. That's just what I think, you know? But anyway, so like in the morning I started trying to film the sun through the clouds because you can get a good shot of or you can actually look at the sun without, it hurting your eyes or whatever. It probably hurts your eyes, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, you can look at the sun. So anyway, yeah, and the birds were chirping like a motherfucker that morning, little bastards. I don't know, it seemed like a couple times in the past month or so, like I went out and on a cloudy day like this, and like there'd be two or three bright spots, next to the sun. And like I wonder why, like all the things in the clouds always look like demons or eyes or pyramids. Like, what is up with that? How come they never look like I don't know, the Powerpuff Girls or Pokemon or something cute like that? No, they always look like fucking Dr. Frankenstein or some guy's head that just got shoved into a blender, turned into a smoothie. Well, maybe not a smoothie, but a pizza. Anyway. So yeah, I'm filming the sun there. What the hell is that thing? How come that one's so bright? Fucking thing. That's how I think sometimes the clouds are like alive, you know what I mean? Or I guess you could call them maybe jinn, or up in the clouds, but I always seem to see these pink, orangish, twirling entities, and like if I tell them in my mind, hey, I see you over there, or something, they'll float down toward you, and they look like static. It's really weird. And a lot of people have described demonic activity and paranormal activity like they get a smell of like staticky smell, and they'll just feel like a static type of feel. But I don't know if that has any correlation or not, but it's just a little observation I made. And look, it's a star tetrahedron. And that's another thing too, like like the clouds a lot of times seem to look like they're in the pattern of like sacred geometry, like Metatron's cube, or like I said, the star tetrahedron, or the flower of life. Actually, over to the one side of the screen, I was gonna say it looked like a chick with huge tits for a second, which I guess is pretty cool. Anyway, here's some photos I took of the sun. Just thought I'd show them to you. Isn't that nice? A little slideshow. Okay, so now we're getting into the chemtrails. Okay, this is a little bit later on in the day. Maybe like half an hour to an hour later. And You know, I don't even know why there's still this debate on whether or not chemtrails are real or if it's contrails. I mean, it's completely obvious. There's so much. Well, I guess there's not a whole lot of research, but then again, there's not a lot of research into these contrails. You know, yeah, you can research contrails, but the contrails here lately, I don't remember seeing them like this when I was, well, a younger kid. So here's the first faggot of the day. And, you know, a lot of people also will tell you, oh, well, you know, they're trying to block the sun, you know, to help our atmosphere, or help, you know, with all this and that. But it's like, if they are trying to help, why not just come out and fucking say it, you know? Say, hey, yeah, we're trying to help, ladies and gentlemen. No, they don't. I've gone, you know, some days I've gone to the health, or the environmental health department here in Fremont, Nebraska, and this bitch gave me the runaround, man. And she's like, I'm sure it's nothing to be worried about. I'm sure there's no bacteria. And then she stopped what she was saying. I was like, were you gonna say bacteria? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, how do you know that they're spraying bacteria if you said you knew nothing about this conspiracy theory or nothing about these chemtrails? Then she said, oh, it's just a slip of the tongue. I was like, I should have a slip of the hand and slap you in the face, bitch. Anyhow. So then, you know, she gave me the number to the EPA, so I called the EPA. You know, just for shits and giggles, I guess, because I pretty much knew they weren't going to help me out. But anyway, they said they couldn't help me, and they gave me a number to the Nebraska environmental, like the bigger one than the state or the local. So I called them and talked to an investigator on a day when they were spraying like some kid who puts on too much cologne. And he said, well, let me check my radar. If they're spraying like you say, there should be cloud formations over your area. I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. Let me go check my radar too. So I went and got on in telecast and seen this huge fucking cloud right over, you know, Fremont, Nebraska. And he's like, oh, I'm not seeing anything on there. I was like, well, I can see it on mine. He's like, oh, wait, yeah, I guess there is a cloud there. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I thought. And he's just like, oh, well, I'm sure it's nothing to be worried about. You see, at higher altitudes, the airplanes tend to release this moisture from their engines, and through the process of bullshit, it turns into a little ice crystal. Blah 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 blah. Thank you very much, fucking dickhole. You wasted my time. Anyhow, so I've gone to the local paper. I've gone everywhere to talk about this shit, and a lot of people are interested, and they do say, yeah, it is kind of strange how they just lay fucking X's all over the place, and how they leave these huge streaks all over, and you can see patterns and all that stuff. Well, yeah, that's their flight path. I don't fucking think so, dude. Anyway, if we ever figure this shit out and retake America, you know, the people, if we ever do that, I think that the people who disagree with the chemtrail conspiracy theorists should be locked up for at least a year, or be our personal slaves for at least a year, okay? And if we are wrong, the chemtrail conspiracy theorists, then, oh well, at least we are being concerned citizens, you fucktards. God. Has anybody ever tried to, show somebody a chemtrail, and you just got a Mr. Know-It-All who thinks they know everything just from what they might have heard or what they think with that? I'm out here every day looking at this shit and checking it out, and I can say that from what I have noticed, these planes aren't real planes, and I I think it has something to do with demonic or paranormal type of entities, you know, because a lot of the UFOs, those orange balls and all that stuff, and those floating little balls, a lot of the top UFO researchers have actually said that they believe that to be demonic activity and not, you know, real ETs. That the majority of the cases are UFO sightings and stuff like that. Now, so that's kind of what I believe these things to be, is they can shapeshift and manifest into whatever kind of object they want, you know. I've slowed down videos that I've shot myself and of low-flying aircraft and going frame by frame and seen pieces of the plane just absolutely disappear, like the wings and whatnot. You know, so that's kind of what makes me think that they're demonic. And it seems like once you start filming these things, they'll stalk the fuck out of you. Well, I guess I'd do that too if I was trying to intimidate the public or something, if anybody started checking us out. But you see these clouds right here? Look at how low these fuckers are. These things are right above my tree. These two stray clouds. The rest of the sky is blue. Well, the rest of this half of the sky over toward the west, or I'm sorry, the north, or whatever direction that is. But anyway, you always get these little clouds that come and fucking check on what you're doing. You know, I know right now some people are probably like, man, this guy must be fucking nuts. Well, fuck you. Anyhow, so yeah, here we have these low-flying clouds, and it always seems like these things come around me, like when I start filming these chemtrails. And I've noticed that the paranormal energy starts to pick up whenever they spray, like, mass amounts of this chemtrail stuff. Like, the clouds start to look demonic, they look like they're alive, these little spinner things are up in the clouds, dropas or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, like, in my own house, like, I can see the energy from the router and stuff like that with my phone, of course. When I use, like, a solarization effect on it, you can see all the shit that's flying around and, like, all the energy and the electrostatic magnet, whatever it is, you know. And it always seems to pick up every time they fly around. And, you know, like, a lot of times I go outside and it just seems like they just appear out of nowhere, you know? Just like right when I happen to look up, it's like, boom, there they are. Boom, every time. And then at nighttime, they turn into these little hovering, blinking, little drones, I guess you'd call them. Little fuckers. And one time I actually seen an orb. It was like almost a transparent orb. I seen it at night. It was a huge orb though, and it like, I was walking up some steps to somebody's house, and I just seen this orb just fly right in front of me, and then all of a sudden, it turned into one of them blinking airplanes. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, you should have done that a little sooner if you didn't want me to see it, you dumbass. Anyhow, I mean, look at these trails. And a lot of times when I'm filming chemtrails, you'll get birds that look like this. I mean, I didn't see a bird all day. Well, I guess I did see a bird, but I didn't see a big-ass bird like this until I started filming the big-ass chemtrails, you know? So every time I point my camera up at the sky, these little big fuckers start flying around, swooping around. Little shitheads. And then you'll also have these really weird birds that spin faster than a motherfucker and fly. They always fly at your camera, and like, you wouldn't even know that they're there unless you went back and watched the video and slowed it down. I mean, these things, in some of my videos, you can actually hear these birds twirling around. It sounds like, and then they swoop past your camera and shit. You know, I've actually put my camera in the back of my truck, started driving around, started driving around, and like after about 15 minutes or wherever, when I reach my destination, I'll rewatch the video, slow it down, and these bat-like, bird-like, spinning things keep flying at my camera, and it's really fucking weird. I don't know why or what that is, you know, but it's really strange. Now look at this airplane. See, I mean, so far we've had clouds, a bird, and then here's this airplane that just kind of flies overhead. It's like, oh, what's it? Let's go check on this guy. But anyway, look at how it. I know I shake my camera a little bit, but anyhow, I know I shake my camera a little bit, but like this airplane starts going all ape shit, like bouncing back and forth, and sorry about that, I had a little audio glitch. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, this plane looks like it just keeps bouncing around, you know, and I know I'm shaking my camera a little bit, like, because I run over to this post and stabilize myself, but at the end of the video, I'll slow it down, and it's like this plane just is freaking out and shaking and shit, you know what I mean? Well, that's why I think that they're like entities flying around, you know, trying to intimidate you from checking out chemtrails and whatever it is that they do. So, I guess that's kind of what I wanted to say. I don't know, it's the conspiracy of our time, ladies and gentlemen. So, keep checking it out, keep investigating it. It'll come out sooner or later. And like I said, the people who are arguing with us saying it's contrails, go fuck yourselves.